What is up, Cortland? Welcome back to the Division III podcast. I'm your host, Zach Jackson, and tonight I have a very special guest, president of the Women's Ultimate Frisbee Club here at Cortland, Carly Chardevoy. And Carly, why don't you say hi to the people?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on. Real quick, why don't you just tell them about your story? Tell them, you can say whatever you want.
So I joined the Women's Ultimate Frisbee team my freshman year, about halfway through the first semester. And when I joined, we had about 6 or 7 girls on the team total. So we didn't have many tournaments. We didn't have any tournaments, actually, the first year. Practices were super small. And then at the end of my freshman year, all of the seniors, which were all of the people that were on the team when I joined, they all graduated, obviously, leaving me in charge and all of the other sophomores in charge. So yeah, I've been president of this team since my sophomore year.
That is very impressive. Most club presidents usually become president around senior year, so
Yeah,
applause to Carly.
Really was because, thank you, it really was because COVID hit our club so hard, so we didn't have any juniors or sophomores when I joined, so it was just seniors and freshmen. So we kind of really had to step it up for the rest of the team and the rest of the club to really make it thrive once again.
Yeah. Would you say it was difficult, like, just being kind of thrown into it? Like, because most clubs, like, their presidents, there's like, all right, we know exactly who's going to be the president next. But it sounds to me more like you're just kind of like someone has to do it.
Yeah, I definitely was thrown into it, but even when they were, like, looking for a new president, we kind of all knew that it was going to be me. Like, when I was nominated and elected, it was pretty unanimous across everybody. Everybody wanted me to be president. I was really the only one that showed the most interest in that and the most, like, dedication to Frisbee. But yeah, definitely it was pretty hard getting thrown in, especially because I was learning how to be president of the team while I was still also learning how to play Frisbee, because I had just started playing when I joined the team. So it was kind of difficult learning how to be, one, in charge of the team and in charge of the practices. Like the playing portion, I had to like learn everything about the game twice as fast than everybody else.
Yeah, what would you say is the most difficult part of being a club president? Would you say that is like running practices, things like that?
That's actually not the hardest part of being president. A lot of the hard parts of being president is what people don't see. So like all of the emails that I send every day and signing us up for tournaments and then things inevitably going wrong and needing to deal with that. And like being in charge and like responsible for everybody on the team, everything that happens. So it's really like all the behind the scenes stuff that is the hard part. The easy part is the practices and coaching that aspect.
And I had the men's Frisbee team president, Luke Barrett, on not too long ago, and we touched on this a little bit, but what are the duties of like being a club president specifically?
So pretty much I oversee everything. Like I know exactly what the vice president is doing, exactly what the treasurer is doing, exactly what the secretary is doing. If there's any important information to send out to everybody, it's me. If there's any important information that needs to get to the Frisbee team, that also goes through me. Yeah, I'm also the captain of the team, so I have that too also. Sorry, does that make sense?
You're good.
Sorry, now I'm blinking because you can just cut this part out.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, so I am responsible and in charge of everything and everyone. Any important information, I let everybody know. I also am in charge of like telling the other officers what they have to do and making sure that they do all of that. And if anything goes wrong with our club, I take full responsibility for everything and everything that happens. Yeah. Is that what Barry said? Is that about the same?
Pretty much. Actually, the people don't know what Barry said because his episode never got released. So.
Oh, I see.
But but yeah, he also touched on like tournaments and things like that. What do tournaments look like for you guys? I know you guys don't go to as many tournaments.
Yeah, tournaments are pretty difficult for our team because we need a certain number of girls and we are right on that line and sometimes right under it. So it's pretty difficult for us to make it to tournaments. But when we do go to tournaments, it's super fun for the whole team. We do a lot of mixed tournaments with the men's team. And we have only had a couple all-women's tournaments. The all-women's tournaments are really great for our team. It's a really great bonding experience. We're together Friday night and Saturday night, playing Frisbee the whole weekend. It's super, super fun for us. Mixed tournaments are also super fun in their own different ways. We get to mix with the men's team and hang out with them all weekend, and so that's really great and fun. But yeah, we play all weekend, we hang out at night, and then we drive back and do it all over again the next weekend.
So I heard that your next tournament is in Virginia, right?
No, actually.
Yeah, they got scrapped, I'm assuming.
Well, we were supposed to go to Virginia, and then the car situation didn't work because nobody really wanted to drive their car down to Virginia, and we couldn't really rent.
Understandable.
So we kind of scrapped that idea last minute, and we were told about this tournament in Saratoga instead, which we were going to go to already. I actually just got an email today saying that they didn't receive our payment and they're sold out. So I don't think we're going to Saratoga, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, these things unfortunately do happen where things get messed up and it's too late. But that's a part of being president, honestly, is needing to deal with that, getting those emails and telling the team, being the one to tell the team, hey guys, bad news. We did something wrong, someone made a mistake, like something happened, something got messed up by accident, like this is the sitch, this is the bad news.
Yeah, no. When things go right, what does tournament planning look like from the president?
Tournament planning?
Yeah, like how would you schedule a tournament?
Oh,
you have to be invited.
Oh, right.
Things like that.
Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry, I totally misunderstood the question then.
Yeah.
Tournament planning it's not too hard once you, like, have a pretty good list of, like, people emailing you and, like, people that you're in contact with. I know that the men's teams does, like, National Ultimate and USAU, which we used to do when we had a much bigger team before COVID. So now that, like, I'm in charge of that and we didn't do that when I was a freshman, I'm, like, not super familiar with that whole process. And we also have the issue with not having enough girls sometimes. But I'm hoping next semester we will actually get that figured out and we'll actually be able to go to the more tournaments. But as of right now, how we do tournaments is I get emails from schools close by, like Rochester, Binghamton, Oneonta, etc., to set up like little mini tournaments, either like one-day tournaments or like small weekend tournaments. And yeah, that'll really just be an email chain where I register us, then we get an invoice or a bid sent back to us. I send that to my treasurer, who takes care of that, pays for the tournament. And then once that's taken care of, if it is a weekend tournament where we need a hotel, my vice president would take care of that, figure out the hotel rooms, get together cars, like for driving to the tournament, who's driving, who are you driving. And yeah, and then just finally getting a head count of who's coming and actually driving there and getting there.
Yeah, I mean, that is a lot more involved than I think more like people would know.
Really? Yeah.
What would you say? I'm gonna scrap that. I'm blanking. All right, we're back.
All right.
And In terms of getting enough girls to go to tournaments, do you expect to get like more next semester? I mean, like I could see from last semester to this semester, your team has doubled in size. Would you expect that to continue?
Yeah, absolutely. Every single semester, I plan on getting more and more girls. We've yet to have a semester where we've had less than the one before, so we are improving and like adding girls every single semester. It's just hard when we started from such a low number. Like when I started again, we had about 6 or 7, and then the next year we had 15, 16, which like an inconsistent 15, 16, and this semester we have an inconsistent 20 to 22. So we're still like improving, but when it's an inconsistent 20, it's a consistent 14, and that's like barely enough girls to have. So yeah, I do think that we should get more girls every single semester. We keep recruiting. We're active on social media, getting our name out there, getting people to know who we are and recognize us. So yeah, I definitely think that we should keep improving and keep adding girls.
Is there anything like special you do to recruit? Or just like
not necessarily. We go to the sport club fair, the SGA club fair, the open house club fair. We go to all of those, and we're pretty active on our Instagram, or we try to be at least. But other than that, most of our recruitment is like word of mouth. Like if you have a friend that wants to play a sport or wants to get more involved or anything like that, that's how we recruit most of our girls, is through friends.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably very normal for Ultimate Frisbee, as it's not the most popular of sports. Like most people come in, they're like, yeah, I want to play basketball or football or whatever.
Yeah, not too many people know Ultimate Frisbee or even know that we have it here, especially a women's team. A lot of girls that signed up at the club fair said like, oh, I didn't even know that we had this here. Like, oh, I would have joined last year or something, you know? Like nobody really, or not too many people really know that we are a club since we're so small. So it's hard to get people to like really be interested.
Yeah, and speaking of that, how did you get into Ultimate Frisbee?
I was recruited by the current vice president right now, Megan. I had signed up at the club fair and I was interested, but I didn't go to the interest meeting for whatever reason. I had like gotten nervous or something. But then I ran into Megan, who I actually went to high school with, so we knew each other. And she told me that she had joined the Ultimate Frisbee team, and I said that I had also expressed interest in that, but I didn't end up signing up or sticking with it. And she said, oh my god, totally, just come. I'll add you to the group me. This is Michaela. She's the president and captain. Text her if you want. But yeah, we have practice this day at this time. Come whatever. And I did, and I've been to every single practice since.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has kind of a similar story. I got into it through my high school friend, Anthony, who's also on the men's team.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of how did you play any other sports before Ultimate Frisbee?
Yeah, in high school I played a lot of sports. I did track and field and cross country. I played softball for most of my life. I also was a dancer. I dabbled in a lot of other sports, but when I came to Cortland, I didn't really want to try out for a sport. I didn't really want to be in like a super competitive sport, so I chose Frisbee. I don't know. I liked it a lot more, I guess.
Yeah, I had like a similar thing where I played a couple of different sports in high school, but wasn't trying to get too competitive. I've always been a basketball player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always been a softball player.
Yeah, I've always been a basketball player. I still play recreationally in intramurals, but I also had some injury concerns with basketball. My knees are made out of glass, so.
Yeah, I definitely had to quit a couple sports because of injury.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't quit, but.
Well, I had to quit.
Yeah, I understand. So I know a lot of the people you recruit have similar stories to me and you in terms of how they got into it, or they played other sports before and didn't necessarily want to do that in Cortland for whatever reason. Have you ever gotten someone on the team that just came in as like, oh yeah, I've been playing Frisbee all my life?
Not Not that actually, but pretty similar. Yeah, we definitely do get a couple girls that seek us out and say, "Oh, I was looking for frisbee. I want to sign up." Or, "Oh, like I've played before. I've been playing. I know exactly how to play. Like I was looking for you guys. I want to sign up." That happened with one of our rookies right now. She found us, and there are a couple other girls I'm pretty sure on the team who sent me an interest form, who said, "I've played Ultimate Frisbee before, like I know what to do, like this is like what I want to play." So yeah, we definitely get girls that know Ultimate Frisbee and want to play Ultimate Frisbee and not just want to play a sport and choose Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah, I mean, do you also have issues with other commitments? Because a lot of people would probably like do this as like a side thing sometimes, like they play basketball and then Ultimate Frisbee, or do two clubs at once.
Yeah, we definitely have to fight other sports to get girls sometimes. Sometimes it works out though that some of our girls will try out for another sport and get cut, but then fortunately for us, they get to join our sport. But there definitely are a couple girls that had interest in joining two sports at once. I know our vice president, she's on two club sports right now, and she's managing, for sure. Blanking now. What was the question?
Yeah, I can't really imagine doing two club sports because
it's a lot. It's a lot of work, a lot of practices, because every sport club has at least 2 practices a week, at least.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a lot for one person. I don't recommend it, but if you are really diehard about 2 different sports, it definitely can be done.
Yeah, I think it's done. I think it's crazy that to do that while also being an officer, because I know being an officer is a lot of work as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely hard to manage, but she gets the job done for sure. And she loves playing both sports. But yeah, sometimes we do lose girls from Ultimate Frisbee to another sport, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have her on here next to get her story. But speaking of like work that officers or specifically presidents would do you guys ever have to go to meetings for like with Nucell, things like that?
Yeah, so...
sorry to cut you off. Before you answer that, Matt Nucell is the... not the athletic director. He's the club sports department director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have meetings with Matt once a month, once every 2 months, where all of the presidents get together and Matt Nucell pretty much tells us like a lot of like housekeeping, like little problems that are happening, and then like big things, big reminders and everything like that. So he is definitely like very, very hands-on and in charge of what we're all doing. On top of that, the presidents take it upon themselves to do a lot for the sport club program also. There are 4 different committees that the presidents are split up into. There's a fundraising committee, a community service committee, an awards committee, and a budget committee. So every president is in at least one of those. And I'm actually in the fundraising committee, so what we do is we host a fundraiser, either once or twice a year. This year we're only going to do it once. Last year we only did it once. But so it's me and about 7 other people in my committee all working on this fundraiser. The community service committee, there's about the same amount of people on that, hosting or like planning a couple community service events. And all of these events are open to everybody, where all of the presidents help. All the presidents help each other, and all the presidents can come to the community service event with their teams. They can come to the fundraising event with their teams. All of us presidents, we talk to each other and we help each other out with everything. Like if community service needs help with anything, presidents can reach out to their team and say, "Hey, we need people with this." What we did last year for the fundraising committee, we needed help collecting things, so we asked all the presidents, "Hey, can you ask your team if we can start getting these and then like bring them into the next meeting where we all have." So yeah, we all of us presidents, we all have a little extra responsibility along with being a regular president.
Well, it sounds like you guys kind of run the show. Well, I mean, obviously Matt just runs the show. It sounds like you guys do a lot in terms of like the overall program.
Yeah, definitely. Every president is very involved. There's no president that is hands off in their sport club or hands off in the club program as a whole. Every president has like their own responsibilities and their own like duties, I guess.
Yeah. So that's off the field. On the field, what are your duties more as like a leader, I guess?
Sorry. So on the field, I am one of 4 captains. I'm one of the captains with the treasurer, secretary, and the vice president. So all the officers are also all the captains. And we split up the leadership role, I'd say, or the 3 of them split it up pretty evenly. And I definitely take on most of it, especially since I can't play this semester and I haven't been playing in a year now. So I'm really just the role of coach on the field. So that's pretty much what I coach at practice, and everybody else plays and kind of follows me. I'm also like, I create a plan for practice, for every single practice, along with the help of the other captains. When there's important announcements, I tell everybody. I'm trying to think of like leadership. I'm trying to think of like leadership without making it seem like they don't do anything.
Don't want me to step in.
Yeah.
Well, that does sound like a lot in terms of like it sounds like you're doing a lot even though you're not really playing. Would you like to, if you don't mind, would you like to get into why you're not playing?
Yeah, for sure. So I can also answer that other question better if you need me to. Yeah, so I have a spine surgery I have a spine injury right now. I got spine surgery about 6 months ago where I have a metal rod in my spine to fix my scoliosis. So for the past 6 months I've been recovering, and for the next 6 months to a year I will still be recovering. So I haven't been able to play this year because I'm not allowed to move at all. I'm not allowed to bend, lift, twist, or squat. So I'm pretty severely handicapped right now, or I was at least a couple months ago. It's definitely getting better now that I'm 6 months post-op, and I am planning on returning to Frisbee in the spring semester because I will be about 11 months post-op. So I will be in much better condition to run and jump and cut and catch a Frisbee. But yeah, for now I am not allowed to move much, not allowed to do anything in Frisbee. I'm allowed to run a little bit, but that's pretty much it until I can really start to work on it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope that you recover well. I hope that you recover quickly so that you can get back on the field, because I know it's tough to watch the team play.
Thank you. Yeah, it definitely is tough. That's probably the hardest part right now, is just needing to be coach and not a player. And like coming to practice, coming to tournaments, and just watching, just only being on the sideline, that definitely is really hard. So I'm so excited to get back at it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Like, would you say it's difficult because, like, at least in my experience with injuries, I've never had anything that severe, but I've definitely been sidelined for a bit. There's always that, like, I just want to get out there so bad. That, maybe just 1 point.
Yeah, exactly. I tried to do that this past weekend at the tournament. Just 1 point. What's 1 point? But then you got to think, it'll only take 1 point for me to go right back to the hospital. That's all it'll take. So I definitely got to Rather be safe than sorry, you know?
Oh, you're smarter than me. Because I've taken that point before. But
yeah. Me too.
Don't recommend it.
Me too. It's the second surgery.
But on to happier things. So, next semester, I mean, you said you expect to play more. You expect to get more girls. Do you think that things are looking up for your team as a whole next semester?
Definitely. Again, I think we're going to improve every single semester. More girls, more commitment, motivation. We are definitely going to get more serious about tournaments next semester. We're going to try to get memberships with USAU so we can actually go to sanctioned tournaments. Hopefully we have the girls, which is another aspect of that. We have to recruit a ton more girls in order to get super serious about it. But once we get the numbers, hopefully, I'm going to try to get everybody to really lock in, stay focused, get motivated, get excited, because once we start tournaments, we gotta do well, you know? Like, I want everybody to be the best that we can. I want our team to be the best we possibly can, especially since we've been in the shadows for so long, because we haven't really been a super popular or populated club. We're kind of the underdogs right now, and I'm really ready for us to get back out there and really have a name for our team. We have jerseys coming, we have like merch coming. We're really making steps to become kind of like every other team, really. We're behind, we're finally getting there.
Speaking of jerseys and merch and things like that, would you like to get into like the history of your team and the team name?
Yeah, for sure. So our team name is Mystery Inc. We are Scooby-Doo themed. Our jerseys right now that we just ordered, they have all of the Scooby-Doo characters on them along with the Mystery Machine. Because we, even though we have a red jersey, we still want to keep with the Frisbee culture and having a team theme, because that's very normal at tournaments for teams to not be called by their school name but by their theme name, I guess. Yes, more history. We have 2 mascots. They are both penguins. I don't know if I should say their names. I think about the Frisbee history. I think that's really it. We're Scooby-Doo themed.
So when you say penguins, those like actual penguins?
No, they're plastic penguins, about like 3 feet tall. So they're kind of big penguins, and they're big plastic penguins. One of them has a bandana, and the other one has yellow eyes, and that's how you can distinguish them.
What is the story behind the penguins, if you know it?
Honestly, I don't know it. The penguins have always been our mascot. When we were freshmen, the seniors said, "These are our penguins, these are our mascots," and we just said, "Okay." No questions asked. These are our penguins, worship them, and we did.
Oh, I'm going to share a little bit about the men's ultimate Frisbee team real quick. Our team is Pokemon themed, so our team name is Team Rocket. Everyone has a Pokemon on their jersey. There's a big R in the middle for Team Rocket. Kind of resembles the show's actual Team Rocket.
Yeah, we don't have specific characters like you guys. We don't have that many characters to choose from. If we had to assign everybody, we could assign everybody like a ghost.
That's not a bad idea. But you guys have penguins and we don't.
That's true.
Well, we did have the penguin for a little bit. There's been a couple of plots to relocate the penguins.
Yeah, the penguin is getting kidnapped.
Got kidnapped. Don't worry, the penguins are safe. They've been returned.
The penguins are always safe, even when kidnapped.
Yeah. I'm going to wrap this up a little bit, but before I wrap this up, you viewers know that I have a question I ask everyone that comes on this podcast. You don't have to answer it,
Okay.
but it's highly encouraged.
Okay.
What is your most embarrassing sports moment that you've ever had?
Like in every sport ever.
Yeah, it could be any sport. Could be
Okay.
frisbee.
Um.
You could do two. If you really want it. If you really want to put it out there.
Well, this one was embarrassing when I did competitive dance, and I remember I was on stage and I like completely missed my mark and I completely forgot what I was doing and I had to lift someone up and I wasn't there. So she didn't get lifted up and it looked really bad and I ran off the stage crying. So that was pretty embarrassing. But other than that, I wouldn't say I have like anything embarrassing that happened like on a field. I don't think, other than just like missing a catch.
Yeah, everyone has missed
Yeah.
catches, drops,
But,
bad throws.
yeah, I wouldn't say that anything like too crazy embarrassing has ever happened while I've played a sport.
Oh, that's good. I wish you guys luck next season.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And to the viewers, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.